Hello everyone, welcome to 3D Design Academy.com. In this session, I will be continuing with part 3 of the front corner of the Maserati MC20 supercar. Okay, so this is where I left off, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete the construction history over here, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue building a fillet. So right now I have this one built over here. So now the only thing left to do is this one over here, and I'm going to be building this one over here. So let's go ahead and continue on with that. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and connect the dots over here like this, so that I can make a fillet that is precise. And looks like I might have made a slight mistake with this one. Looks like it's going a little bit over, but that's okay because there's going to be a large fillet going across, so I think it should be fine. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and project over here, and I'm going to project over here as well. Delete these two curves like this. Trim over here and trim over here. Looks like it's a little bit short, just because of the little mismatch over here, but that is okay. So I'm just going to extend it like this. Now, unfortunately, that does mean I probably have to... Well, it looks like it doesn't connect over here. So what I am going to do is just duplicate this edge over here, and I'm just going to align. So I'm going to grab this edge over here. Let's zoom in. I'm going to align it like this. It's going to G2 over here. Actually, you know what? No, it actually has to align over here. So I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to align over here like this. And let's go ahead and do a square. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1 is going to be curvature, 3 is going to be curvature like this. And let's just do a rebuild over here like this. And I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete the construction history over here. I think that looks pretty good. So now the next step would be, I actually probably should, I should probably put a fillet over here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now it's going to be, let's see how to handle this one. I'll probably have to split this one. I'm not going to build it all the way through. So I'll probably split it. So I'll have to, yeah, I think I'm going to do that first, because this one, if you see this one, you'll see that there is not a lot of angle difference between this surface and this surface. It's almost horizontal between the two. So I'll probably have to do this one first, but let's see. Because I'm not going to put much details in this one, I'm just going to do a fillet over here. I'll just split it over here. So let's go ahead and put a fillet. So it's going to be, for this one, it's just going to be existing theoretical. And of course, the section does have to be curvature. And I'm just going to make it quite large. And for the form factor, I'm going to keep it at 1. And let's see, I'm just going to say default on all sides. 100. I think it can probably be a little bit bigger. So maybe let's try 150. I think that's not too bad. All right, so for this one, I'm actually going to continue this one over here. So let's continue edge, and that's going to provide the most natural flow. So let's go ahead and duplicate this edge over here like this, and I'm just going to extend it like that. Well, that's probably not the best. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to strike a degree 2 curve over here like this, and I'm going to align. So let's grab this edge over here. It's going to G2. That's a lot more straight. And there's not a lot of acceleration, which is actually good for extending edges like these. So I'm just going to go ahead and divide this one over here, and let's go ahead and do a surface fillet like this. I'm just going to say edge align over here. Looks like one of our curve over here is doing something a little bit funky, but that's okay because that is no longer needed. Let's just make sure though. I'm just going to delete the construction history on this piece over here. Like this, and I'm going to just finish it as a square piece. So let's go ahead and extend this piece over here, and I'm going to say keep, and let's fill it back in with a square. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so let's take a look at this one. So 2 is going to be curvature. I'm going to turn rebuild off on all of them. Side 1 is going to be curvature. Explicit control will be on. It's going to be degree 5 like this, and that should be good. Okay, delete the construction history over here, and I'm just going to split this one over here so that I can align both of them like this. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, let's go ahead and I'm just going to extend this piece over here. Hopefully it extends nicely. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, right now, if you look at this one, there is a little bit split over here. Now, this is probably not what it is like in reality, but let's just keep it simple. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a trim convert over here like this. And actually, I should probably make it degree 5, 5, and 5 like this over here because, well, this is a degree 5 surface. So I'm going to do that, and for this one I'm just going to project it like this over here. Let's see, did I, oh, I think I might have a double COS there. So for this one, let's do this. I'm just going to project over here like this onto that surface, and let's do a trim convert like that. All right, so now I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of this because that is no longer needed. And I'm just going to align curvature over here so that this is a nice continuation of this. So that's one way you can split a fillet to a hard edge. So I'm just going to do that over here. There is going to be a little bit of dip. Looks like it's not too bad, so I think I'm just going to leave that. And let's go ahead and do the same thing over here like this. And I'm just going to make it curvature. And now after that's done, let's go ahead and trim over here like this. So now, oh, what's going on? Why is it? Oh, I think I might have aligned it to a wrong spot. There we go. Curvature there. Now there is a chance that it might overlap. So you probably want to at least get one to be positioned to the other. So I think that should be good. Did I not do what it's supposed to do? Oh, it's not trimmed. That's why. There it is. And you got a nice split. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete the construction history there. Okay, so now let's take a look at what I need to do next. So I'm probably going to run a fillet from here to here. So let's go ahead and do that first, and I'll probably handle this a little bit after. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, again, grab the fillet over here, and let's grab all of these surfaces over here like this. I don't think I'm going to go as big as 150. Let's try this one, and let's take a look. Now, unfortunately, I think the structure requires a little bit of fix. It looks like it's not running all the way through. So actually, I'm starting to think that I should probably do this one first because of the flow over here. I think that might be a better idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to split this one over here. So there are a couple of ways to split, but one of the ways that you can do it is just to strike a curve like this. And that's going to allow you to determine the flow of the surface or the fillet. So I'm just going to, actually I should probably do this one for this one as well. Let's see. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure what's going on over here. So I think actually, you know what? It does look like it's flowing like this. So maybe I will make it straight. So instead of doing that, let's just bring this up over here. And I'm going to intersect it over here like that. I'm just going to snap it over here, and everything will just flow nice and straight. So let's go ahead and do that as well. And now I'm just going to divide like that. And let's just do a surface fillet over here. Existing theoretical looks like it's not working. It's probably because it's not trimmed. So if that's the case, you probably want to use a build theoretical like this. I think 100 might be a little bit too big. So maybe let's do 80, see if that works. And I'm just going to say edge align on this side. And that looks not too bad, but I do think that it's a little bit too big. So now it does look like it's pretty similar, but I think I'm going to reduce it just a little bit like this, just to make it more like the actual car. Maybe I can go a step bigger. So maybe I'll just do a compromise between the two and just do it 70 and call it done. Okay, but of course I do need to fill this area in, so let's go ahead and do that first. So what I'm going to do is, well, actually for this one, I wonder if it might be a little bit better to pull this back a little bit, just because if the real estate is still a little bit too small, sometimes that can cause a bit of a problem. So I'm just going to pull this back over here. I'm just going to project, and let's go ahead and do a trim convert over here, and this original one can be gone. All right, so let's go ahead and fill this in. So I'm just going to extend this COS over here like that. I'm just going to trim it. Oops. Actually, you know what? Before I trim, yeah, oh no, actually I should be able to trim. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it like this, and let's use a square. So it's going to 1, 2, 3, and 4. And looks like it won't let me make it. Sometimes it does that. I don't know why, but sometimes it's due to a very, very tiny gap. So let's take a look. So I'm just going to grab this one and this one over here. It could be a gap over here. I'm not sure. Well, let's give it a shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this edge like this, and I'm just going to use the stretch tool to snap it exactly at this point and see if it allows me to build it. Okay, so it's probably another edge then. That's okay, so let's just duplicate this edge over here. Actually, you know what? Let's just snap it over here like this. And I'm just going to align over here onto this surface like that. Let's do a square again. So it's going to 1, 2. Well, since this is not the problem, I think I'm just going to do that. There it is. So I think this might have been the issue. Now, why does it cause a problem? I have no idea. I wish Autodesk would fix it, but at least for now, the only thing we can do is just, work with it with other ways to do it. All right, so 3 is going to be curvature, 4 is going to be curvature. Both of these are going to be position, but I do want to reduce the number of degrees. So let's see if I can do that. So 3 degrees over here, that's good. This way, it's curvature over here. So position, tangent, curvature, position, tangent, curvature. There's still free floating CVs. So that is good right there. Okay, so highlight looks pretty good. And actually, there's not a lot of potato chipping, which is excellent. So let's go ahead and make everything visible over here. And let's go ahead and do the same thing over here and build a fillet. So this one, it does have a little crown, but it's not too much. So I think I'm just going to use it as is. So I'm just going to project over here. I'm going to project over here like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and trim over here and trim over here. Let's do a bi-rail, 1 and 2. And now let's go ahead and align this piece like that. It's going to G2 curvature, and let's increase the degree to 5, reduce the spans. I'm just going to say edge over here, and let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. All right, delete the construction history. That looks pretty good. Nice transition with this one floating like that. So now I'm just going to delete these 2 pieces over here like that, and I'm going to combine them back into one. Because, well, it started with 1 piece. So I'm just going to project like this. And actually, I should have probably kept this one. But that's okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is, well, I should still trim it though. So let's go ahead and just project it over here and just trim that somewhat roughly. Let's go ahead and delete this one. Let's just extend it like that, and that's good. All right, so now let's go ahead and put a fillet through this. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the construction history over here. And I'm just going to grab a surface fillet like this. And I'm just going to grab all of these ones over here. Now this one, I don't know if it's existing theoretical is going to work because, well, the theoretical is a little bit off, but, well, it might. So let's give it a shot. So existing theoretical, and I'm going to just start with something a little bit small. So let's start with 50 and see how it forms. So I'm just going to say edge align. Looks like it does a little bit better than before. And let's just go ahead and do edge align like this. There we go. Now, it is grabbing this surface, is it? I don't know why it's formed like that. Oh, there are 2 pieces. I don't know why. Okay, I must have accidentally duplicated. Okay, now that's where I think this one is supposed to be a little bit bigger, so let's try that. So instead of 50, I'm going to try 70. Looks like it might have been a little bit too big, so let's try 60 and see if it'll automatically form over here. Looks like it doesn't, and I think I might have not picked this one, so let's try that. Ah, that's much better. Okay, and let's try 70, although 70 might still give me something a little bit weird. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Okay, now that's our the interior. I'm going to say auto because right now with the default formation, I think it's giving not the best result. Oh, okay, so I think that's much better. Now that's how I would prefer that this is edge aligned. So what I'm going to do is instead of auto, I'm going to say user defined. Now these are fine. It's connect, but this one I'm going to say I believe is E for edge align, I think. So I think T is for boundaries where there is a split over here, but there's no split here. But for this one, I think edge should be the best to use. I think this one just connect is good. Okay, so that looks pretty good there. However, I do not like the number of spans, and I do have to go over with another fillet. So let's take a look. As far as the fillet size goes, I think that's actually pretty nice, and you get a nice flow from here to here. So I think that's pretty good. Yeah, overall not too bad. Now I am going to see if I can do a little bit bigger. Actually, you know what? Just because of this one, it can go over, but well, I don't think it might not be worth the effort. Now that's all. I do want to clean this up because I'm going to be putting a filler on top of this one. So let's go ahead and do that. So I am going to, well, actually, you know what? Let's try Bezier, see if it, I highly doubt, I'm pretty sure it's going to split into two. Yes, it does. So what I'm going to do is, well, especially with this one, I'm going to just leave it as is. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and do a rebuild. All right, because this is a four-sided edge, I can't really use a ball corner tool, but I can use a manual method to build it. So let's do a fit curve over here like this, degree 5. Let's see if it makes it. Okay, so not too bad, but I'm more interested in the CV structure more than anything. I have to make sure that the CV structure of this fillet and this curve over here is somewhat close. And it looks like it's not. So I'll have to do a little bit of a manual alignment. So I'm going to grab this one over here. I'm just going to line it up like this. Make sure that the CV structure is similar between the two. Do the same thing over here like that. Let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. And let's see, check the CV structure. Okay, so it looks like this one is actually quite a bit off. So I'm just going to line it up like that. Let's go ahead and line this one up. Okay, so let's do a square. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so everything's going to be degree 5. 1 and 3 is going to be curvature. Looks like that's not achieving curvature, but let's try collinear. There it is. 1 and 3. I'm just going to check the flow over here. I think flow is not too bad. I think it can lean a little bit more this way. So let's see if boundary blend can help. So maybe something like that. I think that's a bit better. All right, so now, well, actually for these kind of situations, the best thing to do is just do a trim convert on these ones. What I do, if possible, just to keep the original as much as possible, because, well, it gives history and you know, you can see how it was built. So I do like to keep the building blocks intact. So let's see if I can just still achieve curvature just with project. So I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to say project. Yep, that's curvature. And let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. And that's positional. But let's see if I can do view. I might have to. Well, let's see. I'm just going to do a surface continuity over here. Okay, so it looks like it's achieving curvature here, but it's failing position. So let's take a look at, well, I mean, I think the structure is pretty good. Well, let's do this. And let's see if I can do a little bit of manipulation on this one. So right now, I'm just going to do normal. And let's find out where it's failing position. So proxy, not proxy display, continue. I'm going to turn on surface continue on. Okay, so it looks like it's this part over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of slide and see if it will get me the continuity that I need. So I'm just going to turn that off. Oh, actually, I'm going to keep it on. And I'm going to pick the fillet over here. Just going to slide it just a little bit over here and see if I can get the right continuity that I need. So I'm just going to click this one and transform CV 50. Just going to slide it just a little bit. It looks like sliding it this way is getting us a little bit closer to positional continuity. Okay, so let's see if this one helps also. So I'm just going to grab this one. Yep, it looks like it is. So very tiny movements. It's definitely getting us there. And there it is. And I got curvature. Now this other, however, it's a little bit, this curvature continuity might be a bit fragile. Well, let's see if I can get it a little bit better. So I'm just going to trim here and I'm going to trim here. Let's go ahead and delete the construction history. I'm just going to see if I can get curvature continuity. So I'm going to grab this one. It's going to NUV 5000. Let's drag it. Okay, so it's, I think it's probably not true curvature. So it looks like it's breaking tangency here. So let's grab this one and see if I can get it a little bit closer. Okay, it looks like it's shifted. So let's grab this one. Okay, so the comb has disappeared. So now just this one that needs to be aligned. Now, only problem is with this one, there is a chance that you might run into a positional problem as you can see right there. So I'm going to grab curvature row. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. It's a little bit fragile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if this one impacts it. There it is. Now, tangency is broken, but I can try to get away with it by shifting this one. And maybe I just do a balance between the two. Maybe I can just do a little bit over here. There it is. Now, this is not a perfect curvature, but it is within the tolerance. So it's not too bad. All right, so nice highlight flow. It's flowing nicely over onto this one. So overall, I think that looks pretty good. Now, still more to do. I still have to put a fillet here and other things over here and there. So let's continue this in part 3, or part 4, I should say. All right, so there's for part 3 of the Maserati MC20 front corner, and we will pick this up in the next lesson. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Want to learn Autodesk Alias and digital sculpting? Then become a member at 3ddesignacademy.com, where you'll find hundreds of video tutorials ranging from basics, including curve creations, intermediate level tutorials such as this wheel, all the way to Class A modeling of the entire car exterior. Interested? Visit 3ddesignacademy.com.